That is probably not survivable. No, it is not. Tyler going to top out at B25. That's a 1.1. Kirby with the 1.2. So a great game number 3. Now he just needs to bring that right side down. Oh, no, and he's going to take the tuck instead of the burn. So this is going to be, so he's got to get a bar over, and he's going to hang it. Oh, my goodness. Why didn't he take the burn? Oh, my goodness. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Whoops. It is. That's a real countdown. Real countdown. All right. It is iBall. It is DanV. Canada, Great Britain. They are, they both have the monarchy on their money. And they're here playing Tetris against one another. On the left side of your screen, it is iBall, seed number 4 in this tournament. So we got a round 1 and round 2 bye at a 1.67 million qualifier. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 60-minute qualifying period. iBall is a confirmed Canadian and is well known for being a Canadian. So if you want to see a Canadian, there is one right there. It's got a PB of 4.75 million. That's good for about 17th on the overall PB list. It would be if it were on there, but it's not. So I had to estimate. iBall ranked number 16 in the most recent Premier poll. That is a poll of Tetris journalists and broadcasters and tournament organizers. All take a little survey as to who the best player is and all that. iBall, number 16. Go to premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. iBall is a former Challenger Circuit winner, a Future Circuit winner. Was top 16 in Mega Masters 2024. He's made it into the semifinals twice, both times last year, May and June. Top 16 in CTWC 2023, also played in the second online year of CTWC's gold bracket and took second in the Montreal regional last year. Of course, the winner of the CTWC Canada was American player Tristop. And another player invading another country and winning a tournament is DanV, who is on the right side. He qualified into this tournament, into seed number 13. That gave him a round 1 bye. And then he defeated ID Kirby in round 2 to make it here to the top 16. Qualified in with a 1.41 million from Great Britain with a PB of 3.83 million. That's good for about 20th. DanV ranked 14th in the Premier poll. Of course, he is our intrepid YouTube editor. He's won a Challengers, a Hopefuls, a Futures, and a Masters. One of the few people, maybe the only person, to get the quadfecta. Won that Masters back in May of 2023. That was the Faster Masters format, which does count, believe it or not. Some variants of the Masters event do count as Masters events, believe it or not, and that is one of them. Dan also made the semis in February of 2023, was top 16 in CTWC's gold bracket 2022, and played in CTWC the last 4 years. He's fresh off a win in Paris. He won the CTWC France or Paris regional. Was top 4 in CTUK last year and in the Austria events in back-to-back years. And he's all over the place. Played in Boston. He's all over. But that is iBall and DanV. Happy to have them. They have the same exact score, and they're one line apart. 364,040 points. Crazy. Tetris, DanV, 409, 411 for iBall. Let's see. What are the other facts we know about iBall? iBall's a Canadian. He does track. He's a speed runner of Super Mario Brothers. He's got hot dog curtains. What else do we know? Those are all the facts we know about iBall. Just list all the facts. Okay, 479 for DanV. Okay, Tetris is for each 2 lines apart, 2,000 points apart. Tetris DanV 573. And a Tetris for DanV 597 transition, 578 transition for iBall. There's a Tetris DanV 621 602 for iBall. And this match has happened, what, once before? These two players, DanV, iBall. That was in round 2 of January's Masters event. iBall took that one 3-0. And that is the only matchup I've got on Liquipedia. If it happened elsewhere, then I don't know. $714 iBall, $757 DanV. DanV, I'm sorry, iBall doesn't seem to have played very much since CTWC Canada. I don't have any CTM appearances, I don't think, since, well, maybe I do. Hold on. Let me check here. Okay, so yeah, so he was in Mega Masters, played against Fractal in January, but yeah, kind of only 3 appearances in CTM since that CTWC Canada back in July. He's a busy guy. He's got stuff going on in life, you know? 842 for iBall, 905 for DanV. All right, Tetris down for iBall, 909. DanV really could use that L and gets it and uses it. Opens up the right side of the board. He's got a well in column 10, but he's got to cover it. Now he's got a dirty Tetris set up. Column 3, 4 rows up. But just can't get anything to clear it away. Okay, he can reestablish that well. No, he's just going to chop it down. Reestablishes it again. He's just holding out and finally does get it. Really just more to bring this down than anything. Max out for DanV on 27. iBall 988. DJ Mr. Barrow says, anyone know the team of DanV's jersey? I guess it is Crystal Palace, who won the FA Cup. See, I'm learning. And he didn't just run out and buy the jersey. He's been wearing that jersey forever. And his team won. B66 for DanV into 29. A69 for iBall on 29. Okay, good flat board. Kind of a clean palette to work with there for iBall. Or a canvas, not a clean palette. You know what? You want a dirty palette and a clean canvas, right? I don't know. Tetris for iBall, B43, B98 for DanV, whose board is climbing, but he's bringing it down. It's not a jersey, Van. It's a kit. Oh, whatever. And that's going to be a top out for DanV at C12. The target for iBall, C13. And iBall's board climbing. Can he bring it down? Can he get to C13? Oh, no, it's going to be a top out for iBall. And DanV is going to hang on and take game number 1. All right, a little golf clap from iBall, golf clap DanV. Number 2, DanV is up 1-0. He is riding high after the victory of his favorite football team, the Crystal Palace. Or not the Crystal, but just Crystal Palace. It sounds either like a casino or like a strip club. Sorry, kids, cover your ears. Sounds like a strip club. Oh, we're going to the Crystal Palace tonight. You know? But it's actually a soccer team. Wait, did I say that? Maybe. I mean, I might be a little tired. Zempro, maybe don't schedule me for 2 top 16 brackets in a row. It's probably 91,000 for iBall, 69,000 for DanV. Oh, DanV with the adjustment for the Z to make room for the T, which he spun in. And then got a long bar as his immediate reward. So yeah, 13-10 in the prize pool, thanks to Squirrely and Maître Huitien. Appreciate that. 313 from Ben Squirrely to get us up to 13, 13, 13. All right, that's a thing. We're making progress now. We've primed the pump. Contributions starting to come in. The players appreciate it, I'm sure. The Vits filled in for iBall, and the long bar goes into column 10. Adjustment for a T. I mean, what is iBall just trying to do? Like, most consecutive adjustments world record? Like, what the heck was that? 211 iBall, 210 for DanV. All right, DanV, Tetris, 240, 242, iBall. Do you want another back-to-back, or do you want to stream on Saturday? I want it all. I want it all back-to-back, Zempro. So my birthday is next Saturday, is that right? Yeah. So here's really the prediction. Will Zempro or Crinkle schedule something on my birthday, even though I said don't? Now, the problem is it's a Saturday, and so it's like we need that day usually to finish the tournament, but 301 for iBall. But is there going to come a thing where someone's like, well, they can only play on that Saturday and never again, and that's it? But that's usually what happens. Tetris for iBall, 324, 357 for DanV. Of course, I kid these two. I tell them to load me up. I could do this all day. You know, I can be a mediocre Tetris streamer all day. No problem. Lex Diskey with the 1 bits, rattling the tip jar. Thank you so much. That's right, SV. Tetris iBall 393, 390 for DanV. So we're pretty close. Stanislaw with the 2 bits. Now, see, if you just keep doubling bits. Oh, you're all right. You're counting bits. I like that. If you kept doubling bits, I think after like 30 doubles, I'd be a billionaire. Isn't that what it is? Something like that. 418 for iBall, 416 for DanV. Gilded with the 4 bits. Thank you. They're counting up with bits. I like the math of this, by the way. So Stanislaw with the 5. No, pull back there for iBall to make room for the long bar. The long bar comes in and he gets it 467. Another Tetris iBall 490, 10 lines away from 19, and the speed increase. Is that it? Just dies at 5? No one with the 6 bits? $539 iBall, $562 DanV, 6 bits gilded. Thank you. 7 from Squirrely, 8 from valid username. All right, iBall setting up for the delayed bits and gets rewarded. You know, do the wrong thing and get rewarded. It's not fair. Tetris iBall 619 on 2617 for DanV. Oh, that's all right, Stanislaw. That's bad planning on your part. Fractal 7 roommate with the 9 bits. 698 DanV. 700 iBall. Gilded with the 10. I wonder what the record is. Like how. I mean, someone must have done this in their stream at some point. 758 iBall, 760 for DanV. 11. Okay, Tetris DanV 849, 818 iBall. Curie says, anyone remember when you could watch an ad and get like 100 bits? Yeah, remember they used to give you bits for watching ads? Oh, man. Those were the days. Okay, iBall. Looking for a J, not going to find one, so now it's just going to be like, I'll just set up dirty here, no problem. And yeah, it works, of course, but no good place for that square, so it has to cover the well again. 954 iBall, A14 for DanV. There's a Tetris DanV, A48. I don't think you got 100 bits for watching an ad, though. I mean, it was probably... Did you? Oh, man. Maybe I don't remember that. Watermelon Cowboy with the 12 bits. Thank you. Appreciate that. 1.1 for DanV on 28. Oh, cute pup Jesus with the 12. Fractal 7th roommate with the 13. That's really sweet of you guys. Thank you. So the 1.1s for both of these players are on level 30. Oh, DanV, the middle of that board really needs a bar. Bar gets down, and now work to be done. Madelsberger with the 100 bits. That's a nice pattern. It would be a shame if someone would mess it up. Oh, no. iBall's left side, and yeah, that is going to be a top out at C17 for iBall. DanV is good in game number 2. I think DanV has learned, you know, he's seen what victory looks like now with his team that has inspired him. And now he knows how to win. DanV is up 2-0. Who would win in a fight? Great Britain or Canada? Well, we're about to find out. I guess we actually already know, right? Given that Canada exists as an independent country. $72,000 for iBall, $68,000 for DanV. All right, Tetris iBall 117. So we do have one more match after this. The winner of this iBall DanV match will take on Cobra. For a semi-final spot. The Vits for iBall 191. I really am digging this blue, you know. It's a better blue than our old blue. The old green is better than our old green. The new red is not as good as the previous red. And the orange is too close to really distinguish. But yeah, I'm digging this new blue. $277 DanV, $259 for iBall. Jazzy Josh, that's a good one. Tetris DanV 322 well, I can't even talk. 322. That's my whole job, is just to talk. That is the job. So if you can't talk, you gotta leave. All right, there it is. DanV 345, 329 iBall long bar down. Tetris 352. Wow, Laurie was born on Friday the 13th. What does that mean, Laurie? 445 iBall, 440 for DanV. Laurie says, like the page, people. It's free and supports the channel and gets it out to more fans. or just viewers. Don't assume anyone's a fan, Laurie. But they watch it. But they're not. Yeah, they don't. They're like, I'm not a fan, but I'll watch it. I think it's the energy I get. 509 from Dan. 537 iBall. And this is 511 through 100 for DanV. All right, I guess there was a hype train on Twitch. Thank you, hype trainers. Math Wiz 101 raid party of 14 viewers. See, it says 14 viewers, not fans. Tetris iBall 629. Potentially 2 more Tetrises to go for iBall. There's one 652. DanV with 2 more. He gets one of them, 631. Players too good now. They are too good. All right, iBall not going to get that second Tetris. He skims in a double. There's a long bar down Tetris, but both players taking doubles in. Long bars weren't coming. A triple and a Tetris for DanV, so both players with good 600K transitions. There's a new giveaway, my folks. Use the join command to get in on it. And I think if you just type the word join, it's possible. I'm going to try it out and see if I win. Join this. Okay. If I win, then we know for sure that you can just type join without the exclamation point. Okay, iBall. Yeah, he's just going to take that triple, not going to mess around. Although, yeah, you know him he will mess around. $735 for him. 708. DanV set up center well, 1 row off the bottom here on the green level. But he had to cover his pieces. Uncovers, gets it down the middle. And let's see what he's going to do here. Is he going to work 2 rows off the bottom? And it appears that he is not. He's going to burn this down. He takes that triple. And he's just going to transfer that well back to column 10 like a sane person. So there is a giveaway. Use the exclamation point join command to get in on the giveaway. And that is courtesy of Not a Fan. So thank you, Not a Fan, for gifting an Angry Bear can glass to the chat. We still probably have a minute to go to get in on the giveaway. Tetris DanV 840, a triple, a double, a single. Oh, I was hoping for triple, double, single, home run. The cycle. Tetris DanV 901. And iBall with a couple 965, but DanV back by 12 lines. So pace-wise, it's close. Tetris iBall. SV says, I've seen too many joins. The word ain't real no more. Vandy, do I have opinions on the Seattle Mariners? Max out here for iBall, 949 for DanV. Do I have opinions on the Seattle Mariners? Well, like, they were never going to win anything, so they just should have let Ichiro play as long as he wanted in a Seattle uniform and given him a reasonable contract. Because having him play his entire career with Seattle would have been great. And it's not like they were ever going to win, so it's not like anything was at risk. So that's what they should have done. A98 for iBall, A38 for DanV. The giveaway the giveaway's been announced. It's Andrew Meep. DanV into 29 at A77. iBall is already there. He's on to level 31 at B11. So DanV with a pace lead, but that doesn't mean much unless you can stay alive and catch up to the other player. Which is what DanV is trying to do right now, but he's back by 65,000 points. 18 lines in hand, so if it does get to level 39, or if there's a top-out scenario, Dan will have a lot of lines to try to chase down. The long bar gets over for iBall. He muscles it over. Oh, no, that's going to be a top-out for DanV B25, and iBall has taken game number 3 and has extended the match. And iBall is pumped. He's pumped. Look at him. He's excited. iBall looking to win game 4 and force a decider. Try to advance, defend his top 16 seeding, his top 8 seeding. Please edit that out of the video. Don't worry. Nothing starts until the countdown. You're fine. Unless I say it again, Super Step, and then he cannot edit it out of the video. If I literally say that out loud again, then it's there for all time. Super Step. Now that, that's like kind of cute if you're, if the daughter's like 3 years old or less. But the daughter's not like 27, is she? That would be really weird. The daughter is all right, a year and a half. Okay, that's fine. You typed 27 before you heard me say it. Well, that's the Weird Al number, isn't it? Weird Al I'm not a huge Weird Al fan. Like I liked him when I was a kid, but that's the number that he puts in all his songs. Is 27. And so I think I just have 27 in my brain as like a random number. Tetris DanV 124, 161 iBall. Now it just sounds worse. Yeah, exactly. Okay, 212 for iBall, 172 DanV. Tetris iBall 258. The winner of this match will play Cobra right after. And you would think I would have reported that match, but I didn't. All right, I'm doing it now. 266 iBall, 245 DanV. I like DanV's name because it's just like his, first name, last initial, right? Nothing, not flashy. Just this is my name. That's who I am. So the winner of this, plays against Cobra for a top 8 match. Then one of those will be the semifinalist. And we'll eventually face one of, Meme, Pixel Andy, Knight, Armstrong, Cold Bucket, or Miles. That is who is still alive who could make it into the semis against this whole thing. Vandy, you heard about Scooty's PB, right? What do you mean I heard about which PB? He had 2 on stream today. He got 18 million yesterday? Yeah, I didn't hear about it. So 18 million, that's number is that number 2? Is he now number 2 on the list again? What level was that? 434 for DanV, 430 for iBall. Level 235. Oh, shoot. Halfway through green. Oh, man, green will kill you. Now, why did he top out on green? Was it just green fatigue, or like what do you think it was? I mean, obviously it's hard, but because I know when Alex was like chasing, he was getting bored on green. I think his attention started to wander. .505 DanV, 544 iBall. Yeah, I had no idea that he had improved his PB. No idea. Well, congrats, Scooty. I'm sure you're not watching this, but congratulations. That's pretty wild. So that should be number 2 on the list when it gets updated, right? Oh, what happened to the list? The list is all messed up. 670 for DanV, 666 for iBall. It's under construction. Scroll to the right. All right, will do. Oh, it's like hidden cells or something like that, or showing. All right. 725 for iBall, 750 for DanV. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so Scooty has the new number 2 score. So it's Dog, Scooty, Alex, Tristop, Meme, and Andy with the 10 million plus scores now. In that order. 840 for DanV, 814 for iBall. Okay, well, who will get the first 100 million in Tetris? Please let us not do a race to 100 million. Zero, you think we'll get it? I mean, teach that kid Fortnite instead of Tetris. You know? 908 for iBall, 933 for DanV. Okay, Tetris iBall max out on 26, 963 for DanV. Okay, iBall with that 2 high vits after kind of a little adventure, but he's getting it sorted. He's going to turn that lemon into lemonade. He gets a dirty Tetris A80 now. Max out for DanV. He's on 27. And now iBall is going to try to take a good board. Well, no, maybe he's going to try to... Yeah, he's going to... No, who knows what he's going to do? Nobody knows. Okay, iBall is into 29. He gets a Tetris immediately after. He's at B32. DanV at A55. Another Tetris for iBall, B68. DanV, yeah, he's not going to... He's just going to take that triple, bring that stack down. And Tetris DanV B07. B86 iBall. Okay, so yeah, iBall kind of let's see what he's gonna do here. DanV. Oh no, DanV. Oh, and he gets that J to the left. And he's open. He's bringing it down. That wasn't a Tetris. That was like a triple, but he opened up a big part of the board there that he needed to. So DanV still down stacking. B52 for him, and it's just you keep putting weight on that little nub there. Oh no, and he can't get the S over. That's going to be a top out for DanV at B57 and iBall. You have won game number 4, and yes, we are going to a decider. And I guess I don't have an English drink. What do they drink over there? Just a pint, I guess. Let's get him started. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So Cobra is sitting, waiting, and having to sit through a decider. I don't know anything about that, Kern. I don't know anything about it. And it's not my field of interest, or I spent zero time. You think DanV would love to play another match after this? I am quite sure he would. Okay, long bar over Tetris iBall 114, and yeah, this is a decider. iBall versus DanV. There's really been no cheapies. You know, a lot of times you get to these deciders, there's like 1 or 2 early top outs, that kind of thing. Not really. I mean, they've got, you know, they've got 2 and through 29 like several times. No cheapies here. I don't like saying that word cheapies, but all of a sudden I can't stop saying it now for some reason. 88,000 DanV 166 iBall. Oh no, DanV. Okay, long bar gets over. He brings that stack back down. There's a Tetris down at the bottom that he gets, but the rest of his board, all kinds of Swiss cheesy holes. Holes in multiple rows and columns. On a high board. He's working on it. So we've been going for a while. I mean, what do we start at 1? In Texas, now it's 6:10. So yeah, we're gonna go 6+ hours today. That is a lot. 327 iBall 135 DanV. It's a lot of hours. Okay, Tetris DanV 182. Is the maple bottle the Canadian equivalent of the decider? Well, yeah, it's the maple cider. So if there's a Canadian and a D-sider, we are honoring our Canadian friends by giving them, I guess, their own syrup. $243 DanV, $449 for iBall. So over a 200,000 point lead for iBall. Oh, Cobra says online facts. The Toronto Maple Leafs play Game 7 of Round 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs against the Florida Panthers in 19 minutes. All right, that is an online fact. Hockey. All right, 567 iBall, 361 DanV. Tetris DanV 385. iBall into 19 at 638. And DanV is in at 410. So a 228,000 point lead for iBall at the 19 transition. Tetris iBall 739, 486 DanV. All right, Tetris is for both. iBall not slowing down here. 820 for him, 569 for Dan. All right, iBall with really his first slowdown. Dr. Mario, the DRMC with the raid party of 39. Welcome to the stream. 659 DanV. This is CTM Classic Tetris Monthly. This is our monthly Masters event. This is a top 16 match between iBall and DanV. We are in game 5 of a best of 5. The winner of this will move on to the top 8. We've already got a player for these two to play. Tetris DanV 754, 879 for iBall. Tetris for DanV, and he's come roaring back. So iBall with a bit of a slowdown, and DanV has taken full advantage. He overshifted that L, though, and he gets a bar, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. I meant to do that. That's what I was trying to do. So DanV now within, DanV now in the lead. So DanV was back 220,000 points at the 19 transition and is now in the lead. So a big slowdown from iBall. Very costly. Tetris for iBall, 982. And a Tetris for DanV after a bunch of tucks. He's got one more Tetris available, but he's going to have to take this with some birds. Okay, and he knocks this down. He's open on the right side. If he can get a Tetris, Longbar gets over Tetris for DanV. Level 29, the speed is double. That left side for Dan, though, it's going to require some attention now. A47, that's 1,000,000 points for him. He's able to rip those long bars to the left. A43 for iBall, whose stack is in a little bit of danger. Let's see what he can do. Both of these players' stacks are a problem. Dan ahead by 15,000 points. iBall trying to chop this down. DanV trying to chop this down. Both players fighting. Whoever digs out wins, probably. I mean, this is just crazy. That right side for Dan, and a bar's going to hang A75. So the chase down for iBall is A76, and he's going to get it. I think that was a triple. And iBall is going to hang on and take this. Are you serious? In a reverse sweep. Oh, my word. Both players were digging and fighting. And you knew whoever it was that was going to dig down, they were going to win. And one of the players did it. And that was it. Like, oh, my goodness. That was a crazy, crazy matchup. iBall is thrilled. He's waving the Canadian flag. And he's not waving it anymore. Now what is he doing? He's picking up stuff off the floor. He's typing into the chat furiously. I'm sure jokes and memes and all kinds of edgelordy stuff. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. And I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.